Good morning, sir.
Welcome all of you, everyone. Today we are going to learn the poem that is On Killing a Tree from our textbook in English for class 9 Beehive. So, you must have observed people cutting down trees. But do you think they can kill a tree? Is it easy to do so? Do you want to know? If you don't know that if they are killing a tree or they are just cutting the tree, and cutting the tree, does it mean that they are killing a tree? You must have been observing, no? That some people, they, if not cutting the complete tree, but at least some branches they are cutting down. So what does here the poet means to say? What does the poet here mean to say on killing a tree? That is given here in detail in this poem. Meanwhile, other students are joining us. Would you like to watch a video? It is just a reading of the poem in little proper rhythm. Would you like to listen to it and also watch? Yes, dear students. Do you want?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So let's watch and also pay attention in your textbook so that you can enjoy it well.
It takes time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight and water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves so hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curl green twigs. Miniature boughs which if unchecked will expand again to form a size.
Oh, sorry. I was muted. So did you enjoy listening to that poem? You can also, say this poem on killing a tree with some proper rhythm and record. If possible, make a video and do share. It can be a part of your multiple assessment and also the part of, your profile. You are maintaining a file for 5 marks. So such activities go under also art integrated projects and all. And it gives you pleasure, while you are reading the poem with some rhythm, right? So here the title says On Killing a Tree. What do you understand from it? On killing a tree means after we kill a tree, what is the way that we can kill a tree? Does cutting the tree or the branches of the tree kill it? That's what the poet is going to tell us in detail. Would you like to know, dear student? Firstly, I will just share with you the summary, then we'll watch a video again and then go with the word to word and line to line explanation in each stanza from the poem. Do you agree? Do you want me to do so, dear students? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So, On Killing a Tree is a sensitive poem. You must have understood. If it is all about killing a tree, it's really a sensitive. Then the poet persuades the reader not to destroy trees and equates it with killing a human being. And we are not just cutting the trees and killing them, but we are killing ourselves because our existence is completely depending on the nature and the nature is depending on the trees. So this way, if not directly but indirectly, we are completely depending on the trees. And if we are killing them, we are killing ourselves, the human beings. He says that a plant takes sunlight, water, air, and nutrients from the soil to gradually become a huge tree. It develops a strong trunk and gets numerous leaves. So, dear students, it takes years, not just 10 or 15, it takes 100 years sometimes to develop and grow a complete, large, big tree, a huge tree. And there we are, dear students, just in an hour or half an hour or in few minutes, we are there just ready to cut down it. Those kinds of machinery and the arrangement we make, and the tree is no more after a few hours. Even we make it into the small pieces and sell it. Are we doing justice with ourselves? No, we are killing ourselves by cutting these trees. And it takes many years to grow that kind of tree again. And here, so the poet is trying to persuade our mind about the trees. Let's see, what does he say? Merely cutting the trunk of the tree does not kill it. When a tree is cut, the sap flows out just like a wounded man bleeds. Once the wound heals, new branches and tiny leaves grow from there, which grow into trees. And dear students, sometimes people just cut the branches of the trees. Is it killing the trees? No. Even if we are cutting, right from the trunk, the stalk of the tree, that also is not going to kill the tree because there are the roots under the ground that again, get some nutrients and there comes some leaves and grow. And then they are turned into the branches and finally a tree grows well there. Do you agree, dear students? Am I right? Yes or no? Am I audible, dear students? Can you hear me? Yes, dear students. Am I audible, everyone? Ankush,
Yes, sir.
Arya, Adi,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
say something. Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Then in order to destroy a tree, it has to be uprooted. Means the roots inside and under the ground should be taken out. They should also be removed, and then only the tree can die. Else, no. The roots, which are white in color and are damp due to the moisture that they get from the soil, are hidden in a pit in the earth. Those roots are the most sensitive part of the tree, as they bind it to the earth. In order to kill the tree, these roots have to be detached from the soil. And you know that till the time there are the roots under the ground, they are there to get waters and some nutrients from the soil. And again, some leaves will grow on the stalk that is cut. Even the trunk will again grow some leaves and then the branches, and again it will be a big tree. But it will take some time, it may take some years. But is the poet here encouraging us to cut the trees, or just is trying to tell us in some these kinds of way that we should realize the importance of trees, but we should not do such injustice with them. And if we want to live in future generations, the trees are must. They are our life, and without them we can't live. We cannot survive. Is this what the poet wants to convey through this poem? Or he is trying to motivate us that whatever trees are there around you, you just follow the steps I have suggested and uproot it from the ground and separate them from the earth. That's what the poet says. What do you think? Are you understanding, dear students? This is, a sarcastic tone that how we are doing it in a bad manner that the poet has elaborated well. And he wants us not to do it, but to save the trees because they are our life. They are there, very important, must if we want to exist on this planet. What do you understand? Am I right, dear students? That's what we can learn, or you learn to cut
Yes.
down the trees. Be responsive, dear students. Say something. Akanksha. Hello, everyone.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you there? Yogiraj, Surbhi, Sia, Shreya, Sanskruti, Rajvardhan. Sorry, this is I think Rajnandini. Akanksha, you understand from this poem that we should kill the trees by the ways and the means the poet has suggested, or by telling these things, he's just trying to convince us that we should not do like that, but rather plant more trees, grow them well, and save them.
He's trying to convince us to save
How?
trees and plants.
Yes, good, good. So this was the summary of the poem. Here I'll play one video through which you can understand it in detail, and then we'll discuss it word to word, line to line for our better understanding. But is it clear now what is the poem about, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So here is the summary I am sharing with you. Watch it carefully and also listen.
पूजा हाय बोल तेरी वो जो फेवरेट ऑनलाइन सेल थी ना
On killing a tree. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It has to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed. The source, white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done.
Yes, dear students, you got enough idea about the poem, that what is it about and what the poet wants to convey through this? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
Very good. Let's see now the poem in detail. The first stanza. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So, dear students, here you can just imagine that a plant, is there growing slowly and slowly. The roots are going underground and collecting some nutrients and water, and then the tree grows from leaves to leaves, branches to branches, and there it grows and grows and grows and grows. It takes some years, and meanwhile it absorbs, sunlight, even air. It needs water, right? And for years it goes on. and there sprouts some leaves out of the stalk. And just, a simple jab of knife killing it? No, it doesn't happen. Means here the poet wants to say that the efforts or the time that was required to grow the tree, people don't consider, and they simply take an axe with them or some knife and just they go on killing the tree, and they are trying to kill it. This is a sarcastic stone, dear students, of the poet, through which he wants to say that don't do it. Try to understand the time it has spent. Try to understand the way the tree has grown, and you are there just killing it. Just you are there going and cutting it so simply. Is it so simple task you think to do? And we should do it? No, we should not. So I'll repeat the stanza again. You please try to understand. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. You can just imagine, a seed sowed in the ground, in the soil, just get sprouted. Then a single stem comes out of it. It takes time, to grow and have some leaves on it, and then the branches. And it takes some years, and finally the tree grows. And people simply go and cut it. Is it worth doing? The deforestation is understanding everyone? Hello? Is there anyone?
Yes.
Nobody?
Yes, sir.
So what is it about? We should kill the trees, or should understand the time it has taken to grow.
So we should go with the trees.
Yes, dear Akanksha?
We should grow the trees and not cut them.
Yes, we should plant them and allow them to grow. There is the nature growing them all, and we are human beings just going and cutting them all. That's not good, right? Then the next stanza, elaborates here something in addition. Let's see. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. And even if you are thinking that you will simply go and cut it, that is not so easy task. Even if you cut it down from the stalk itself, there will be a pain, but you have nothing to do with that, with the tree. There will be the bleeding bark, but they will heal. You have not to worry about it, but you just go and cut it. Here he seems to be encouraging, but he is, dear students, bringing everything in our notice that it is bleeding like we feel, and it happens through the bark. As we have pain, similarly they too have, Bose, Jagdish Chandra Bose, he has studied, I think there was a lesson also, and you might have studied about carvers. Do you know, dear students? As we can feel, so the trees can also feel. Do you agree or not? Have you studied somewhere in science?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about Jagdish Chandra Bose
Yes, sir.
and his studies? And here the poet is again bringing it in our notice that you are thinking that you will just go and cut. Okay, cut. But after that also, the tree has that much power, and the nature is always there with the tree, that it will grow slowly and slowly. The bleeding bark will heal, even if there is a great pain, but it won't matter a lot. Even if you chop, the branches and the leaves. But don't forget that there is a stalk that is very close to the ground, and there you will find after some time some cold green twigs, rising, and that is sprouting the leaves from the stalk. And after some time spent, we will find the similar tree grown again of the similar size to the former size. Former size means after you cut down the tree, there was no tree, but again it grew and became as it was earlier. So to that former size, it will grow, right? But when will it happen? Which, if unchecked, will expand again. But if you don't go and cut it, it will grow. Then he seems to be that you please go again and cut it down. It means to say that the nature is there, allowing the tree to grow, and you are killing them, you are cutting them down. That's not good at all. Instead, you should plant more trees. There are even many schemes and the campaigns that the initiative by government of Maharashtra and also government of India have been taking, right? And so the poet here refers the way the trees are being cut down and the way, they are uprooted. But is that enough? No. Let's see. In the third stanza, here he begins with no only. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source, wide and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. And finally he says, firstly he referred to just cutting it, and that is not a simple job to be done with just a knife, right? Then he says that even if you cut it down, there are the roots and the stalk that will again grow. And thirdly, here he mentions that if you want to root it out completely, the roots under the ground should be uprooted and taken out. Then only it is possible that the trees are killed and they won't grow again. So again here, this way, dear students, the poet emphasizes on we should not do that sin. That's not good for us. The way a man is being murdered, similarly are being killed. That's not good. The poet wants to convey, saying so and describing the way the trees are being killed and are cut down, even the roots are uprooted that way. How cruel human beings are being with the trees. That's what the poet wants to convey. Understanding, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then he refers to, then you need to just pull them out entirely from the earth cave. Their roots are there under the ground. You pull them out by tying them and pulling them all out. You know that they are the real source of the tree to grow, and they are white and wet, because of the moisture and being in the ground. They are so the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth, and they are there. Those who have hidden themselves under the ground in the earth for many years and are providing and supplying to the tree everything that it requires in order to grow. And it takes many years. And you simply with some recipes and all going there, firstly cutting down, making some pieces, and finally rooting them out. So simple you are finding to do it. But is it so? Don't you think of them, how they have grown, the years, the time it has spent? You please consider. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air. Is that enough that you just taken out the roots? Then you are there, just to leave those roots out in the sun and in air. You are browning them. There are some trees, if those roots or even the branches of the tree are there, touched on the ground to the soil again. And so here the poet says, that is also not enough for killing the tree. You need to again scorch and choke them in sun and air. Brown them means turn them brown, means dry them out. Harden them means when they will be dried, they will be hardened. Twist them, wither them, and then it is done. And finally, these are the ways, dear students, the poet wants to convey that you can kill the tree. Is it easy task? No. Here he says that the wicked way a person does with some enemies or the crimes that the people do, similarly here those who are doing the same things with the trees are the killers. They are the criminals. and you are killing those trees in these ways, in these steps. So everything you have seen, how firstly the poet refers to simply cutting, then he refers to simply about how they will grow until and unless you root them all out, and thirdly he says even if they are there, that what we are doing, how wrong we are doing so, and we should always refrain from cutting the trees ourselves, rather plant them all well and let them grow, because they are providing us oxygen. They breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen, and we breathe and breathe out carbon dioxide. So this is the way trees play a major role in balancing the nature. Do you agree, dear students? Am I right? Yes or no? Say something.
Yes.
Do respond well. Don't just keep quiet, dear students. Are you understanding, everyone? Say something.
Sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
What's
sir.
wrong? I don't understand, dear students. It's only you are just listening and saying nothing. I'll play one more video. It will help us understand this poem well in a better way. The summary. You please listen to it carefully.
Here is the summary of the poem On Killing a Tree by Gieve Patel. It takes a lot of effort to kill a tree. A tree is a strong, majestic creature. The tree has grown strong by feeding from the earth's soil. It has also absorbed years of sunlight, air, and water. A mere stab of a knife will not kill a tree. The tree also has sprouted leaves from its leprous hide. The phrase leprous hide refers to the discoloration on the bark of the tree. The poet here compares the spots on the tree to the marks of a person suffering from leprosy. So, one is free to cut a tree, but such an act will not kill a tree. The tree will heal from this hurt. It will grow new branches and grow back to its former size if left unchecked. For the tree to die, one must pull out its root. The earth sustains and protects the root. The root is the source and essence of the tree's strength. The root needs to be roped, tied, and then pulled out from its earth cave. Only then will the source of the tree be exposed. Once removed from the earth, the root must be left out in the open where the sun can burn it. Without moisture, the root will brown and harden. Then it would twist and finally wither away. And then the killing of a tree will be complete. The poet here is making a negative argument. By describing the process of killing a tree, the poet is trying to shock and disgust the reader. In doing so, he is indirectly asking them to save trees.
Understood, dear students?
Yes,
You got the poem and what the
Yes, sir.
poet wants to convey?
Yes, sir.
Convey?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Can we discuss now the question here for our better understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the first question here is, can a simple jab of the knife kill a tree? Why not? I think another part of the question, why not, itself tells us that no, a simple jab of the knife cannot kill a tree. And in the first stanza itself it is given. So can anyone tell the answer of this question? Why not? Come on, anybody?
Sir, because until the roots are not uprooted, the tree cannot die. So we cannot kill the tree.
Yeah. You know, in the
Knife
last
is
step you have mentioned the last step, but here it is about a simple jab of the knife. It can simply, cut down the branches, and maximum it can simply, cut the stalk also. But the trees are there again to grow. The wounds will be healing in future, and there will be some leaves and the branches that will again grow from it, and which will develop into the trees that was there to the former size as it was before, right? So a simple jab of the knife cannot kill a tree. The place from where the tree is cut will give out sap, and once the wound heals, new branches and leaves will grow from it, which will develop into trees. Right? Understood? Second, how has the tree grown to its full size? List the words suggestive of its life and activity. I think in the second stanza the poet has elaborated well. Can you tell how has the tree grown to its full size? What it requires? Can you suggest and make a list of those words? Come on. Anyone? Adik, Akanksha, Arya, Aryan, Atharv, Avni, Gayatri, Kushal, Manan, Piyush, Rajnandini, Sanskruti, Surbhi, Vaishnavi, Yogiraj. Come on, answer this question. So simple it is. Only you need to tell those words that tells us the growing of the tree and the requirements. What are they? It takes nutrients from the earth, absorbing sunlight, air, water, and those words that they suggest everything is consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, and water. So these are the words from this stanza. Are you not getting, dear students? Hello. Am I audible? Everyone? Not saying anything at all. Don't know what has happened.
Yes,
Are you all
sir.
disappointed with me? Hello.
No, sir.
I think you are enjoying troubling me anyway. You enjoy. But I would like to teach you at any cost, every way. You are simply not telling anything. So simple answers. There is nothing difficult. Now the third. Let's see if you are showing any interest. What is the meaning of bleeding bark? What makes it bleed? What is bleeding bark? After we cut the tree, it comes some liquid out of, the stalk or the branch. And that is bleeding bark. You might have seen some of the trees. And what makes it bleed? You cut. That is making it bleed.
Wood cutter.
So bleeding bark refer to the sap which flows out of the tree's bark where it is cut. And the tree bleeds when it is cut with a knife, right?
Wood cutter.
So wherever there is a cut on the branches of the trees, there it comes out, the sap. And that is called the bleeding bark. Bark, as we have skin, the trees have bark that they are called as. Understood? Let's discuss the fourth. The poet says no in the beginning of the third stanza. What does he mean by this? You can see in the third stanza that the poet said in the beginning itself, no, the root is to be pulled out. What do you mean by this word in the beginning itself, the very first line, no. Are you getting it? Does it make you some sense to understand and realize?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please say, what is it
The
about?
chopping of tree will not kill it.
Very good. Just the way you are cutting or chopping the trunk, it is not going to kill the tree, and the trees won't die just by doing so, and they will grow again, right? That's what the poet says with the single word here, no. Understood? I'll
Yes,
repeat
sir.
again. No means that the tree will not die by cutting or chopping the trunk, but they will grow again, right? Then the next question here is, you can see number 5. What is the meaning of anchoring earth and earth cave? These are, two phrases used in this stanza, in one of this in this poem, in one of the stanzas. What do you understand by them? Anchoring earth and earth cave. You know anchor? Do you know or not? Anchor. Plowing, plowing. Plow the earth that we do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
similar to that plowing, there is also anchoring. But it requires, to support the trees from firmly. That is called anchoring earth. And earth cave, that is referring to the pit that is in the earth where the roots of the tree bind it
Yes,
from firmly to the earth. So try to understand, anchoring earth is the support provided by the earth to grow the tree, and earth cave, that is inside the earth, that is the ground, where they can get all the nutrients that they require, to grow. It is water, even the leaves, about photosynthesis process, that how they, produce their food by absorbing the carbon dioxide and also the sun rays, and produce ample oxygen for all of us. In photosynthesis, what happens? Oxygen is released and carbon dioxide is absorbed. But in the respiration, in the trees and also among the humans, we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, right? But here, anchoring earth is all about the support provided by the earth to the trees firmly, and each earth cave, that is the ground in which the roots of the trees bind themselves firmly to the earth. Understanding? Yes, dear students, do respond. Are you getting me?
yes, sir.
Very good. Number 6, what does he mean by the strength of the tree exposed? You know, there is a phrase used in one of the stanzas, that the strength of the tree exposed. What do you understand from this? What does it mean?
Sir means its roots.
Yes, it is all about the roots that they are under the ground. And once upon being uprooted, the most sensitive and important part of the tree, that is the roots, will no longer remain hidden in the earth. And so here the poet says, the strength of the tree exposed, and that is finally going to kill the tree. Understood? I'll repeat again. The strength of the tree exposed means that upon being uprooted, the most sensitive and important part of the tree, that is the roots, will no longer remain hidden in the earth, and it will finally kill the tree. Understood? But is that the end? No, there is some more processes required to kill the tree. And what are they? That is the last question, number 7. What finally kills the tree?
Sir,
What?
uprooted.
There are some steps
Taking off
given.
by the root.
Uprooting, detaching them from earth, withering, hardening, twisting. The last stanza, can you read it? There you will come to know the different and various methods
Withering.
that the poet suggests of killing the tree. Can you please? Anyone?
Sir, may I?
Brownie.
Yes, dear Akanksha, you can.
Browning, hardening, twisting, withering, scorching, and choking.
Very good. So they are the steps to finally kill the tree. Understood them all?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Again, I
sir.
am sharing one more video with you all. You please enjoy and try to listen to it and also watch carefully for your better understanding. And then there is a poem given that we'll read at the end.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we will be reading a poem on killing a tree. So this poem focuses on the major problem of killing down of trees. And the poet assumes that trees are humans, and instead of using the word cutting, he uses the word killing for the trees as we use for the human beings. So why the poet considers trees as humans and why he uses the word killing for the trees? So to answer these questions, let us start reading the poem.
It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it.
So the poet is saying that it is not an easy job to kill a tree, although it takes much time to kill it. A simple jab of the knife, which means a rough blow or just a simple cut through the knife, cannot destroy the trees.
It has grown slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves.
Okay, now the poet is telling that how the tree grows. So the trees are initially the small plants which has roots buried in the soil, and it takes the nutrients from the soil and absorbs sunlight, air and water through the atmosphere and gradually grows into a big tree. And the tree develops into a strong trunk and has a large number of leaves. Now moving to the second para.
So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it.
Now the poet is saying that just to cut the trunk of the tree into many pieces will not destroy the tree, and giving so much pain to the tree by cutting it will not destroy it properly.
The bleeding bark will heal.
Okay, now as I told you earlier that the poet is comparing the trees with the human beings. So the poet is saying that in the case of human beings, the blood comes out from the wounded area, same as in the case of trees, a liquid substance which is called sap. It comes from the trees when the tree is being cut. So the bark which has wounds will be healed gradually.
And from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to form a size.
So when the bark of the tree is cut, a small plant will emerge from the ground with small green twigs and tiny branches on them. And if these small plants are left undisturbed, then these plants will grow in a big tree. Now moving to the third para.
No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely, out from the earth cave.
So the poet is saying that in order to kill the tree, it has to be uprooted. And as we know that the earth gives support to the tree, so the poet says that the tree has to be detached from the earth. The roots get the moisture from the soil which are hidden inside the earth, and these sensitive roots have to be pulled out from the pit of the earth and detached it from the soil to destroy the tree.
And the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth.
So now the poet says that all the strength of the tree has been lost as the roots have been detached, which were white in color and hidden inside the earth for so many long years. Now moving to the fourth para.
Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done.
So now the poet is saying that once the roots are detached from the soil, the tree starts dying, and in the sunlight and winds, its color turns to brown, it hardens, twists and withers, and then finally the stage comes and the tree dies. So here the poem ends, and I hope that you all understood the poem. And if you like the video, so please turn the black.
Yes, dear students, understood the poem well?
Yes, sir.
There it was mentioned para, but they are called stanzas. That's it. Any query, anything you want to share or want to ask? Yes, dear students? No? Then at last there is a poem given for you all just to read and enjoy. Okay? Trees. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her sphere, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with the rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. And you know, this is a little humorous poem about the tree that Joyce Kilmer has composed. And at last, there is a good thought mentioned at the bottom. When eating fruit, think of the person who planted the tree. Since the trees are very important in our life, and we should plant them as much as possible and also look after. And we know that if there were no trees, even we could not get the fruits. And so here Voltaire mentions that when eating fruit, think of the person who planted the tree, get inspiration, and you too plan to plant the trees and grow them well, look after them well, all. Right? Any query, dear students? So thank you so much. That's it for today. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.